Welcome back. If you just joined us, watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you from Lagos. A reminder of our major stories tonight. Northern governors and traditional rulers say the power to solve the problems confronting the region lies in the unity of its people. Life gradually returns to normal in Adamawa State as children go back to school for the first time in many years. President Muhammadu Buhari says Channels Television is his favorite station as he lauds the achievements of the Nigerian media. And US President Donald Trump signs an executive order to withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership. For more top stories and others, please visit our websites, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. Log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature, so you too can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. You sent in some pictures, so let's take a look at some of them. First is this one from the BRT Korodu terminal in Lagos, where scores of Monday morning commuters are stranded. The Eyewitness reporter wants the state government to flood the roads with more buses. Next is this photo from the Benin-Abraka Highway in Edo State, showing farmers traveling in the most dangerous manner. The Eyewitness reporters calling on highway agencies to stop this act. Our third pictures of protesting students of the University of Ilorin who are said to be revolting against ruling by the institution over fees and examination results. The Eyewitness reporter is calling on the government to wade into the matter. Our journey ends in Port Harcourt, where we see an electric pole that's fallen on a commercial taxi. Eyewitness reporter wants the Minister of Power to address the issue of unsafe poles, especially with the rainy season approaching. Thanks for sending in those pictures. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has again given an endorsement to Channels Television as his favorite. This is the second time the president will be giving such an endorsement on Channels TV. The first was in his goodwill message to the station on its 21st anniversary. The president's picture was posted in a tweet as he was watching Sunday Politics on Channels Television in London. The photograph of the president was apparently released to douse rumors that he was ill in London. He said, "Wherever I am, I keep up with news from home. Channels TV is one of my favorites. I'm proud of what the Nigerian media are achieving." The president's special advisor on media, Femi Adesina, who was guest on Channels TV Sunday Politics, debunked rumors that the president has been ill and wondered why critics altered the sequence of the statement issued regarding the president's trip to the UK in order to make the president appear ill. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari appears to have re-nominated Ibrahim Magu, who is yet to be confirmed by the Senate, as the substantive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC. It was gathered that the president's letter to that effect has been received by the Senate and may be read on the floor of the upper legislative chamber tomorrow. Last year, the federal lawmakers turned down the president's request for the confirmation of Mr. Magu, who is currently serving in acting capacity as chairman. The anti-corruption body, as citing security concerns. The decision by the Senate had been subject to controversy, as former Senate leader Ali Ndume had insisted that Mr. Magu was not rejected by the lawmakers, but his confirmation was only stepped down for further consultation with the presidency, a position that was swiftly countered by Senate spokesperson Aliyu Abdullahi, who insisted that the acting EFCC boss had been rejected. A former senior special assistant on domestic affairs to former President Goodluck Jonathan, Waripamo Owe Dudafa, today told a federal high court in Lagos that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission wanted him to implicate the former president. The defendant was testifying in a trial within trial to determine the voluntariness of some statements he made while in custody of the EFCC after his arrest on charges of illegal concealing about 1.6 billion naira, which were alleged to be proceeds of crime. He told Justice Mohammed Idris how he spent 33 days in custody without access to his phones, his lawyers, and even his family. After the monies in his account were forfeited to the EFCC, Mr. Dudafa says the commission still refused to release him and instead charged him to court. Dudafa is standing trial alongside one Iwejuo Joseph Na on a 23-count charge of conspiracy and concealment of crime proceeds. Let's get more of the news at 10 now from our studios in Abuja, where Ivy Clem is standing by. Hi, Ivy.
Hello, Amarachi. Against the backdrop of recent political crisis in parts of the country and ahead of the 2019 general elections, analysts have begun to stress the need for politicians to be mindful of their conduct. For a former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Alhaji Gali Na'aba, politicians must embrace dialogue to curb the increasing cases of political violence in the country. He was one of those who addressed participants at the 2017 National Political Summit in Abuja, where he criticized politicians who go to the polls as if they were at war.
Nigerian democracy, constitutionalism and leadership recruitment paradigm is the focus of the 2017 National Political Summit. The acting chairman of the Governing Council, Save Democracy Group Africa, and a former Speaker of the House of Representatives criticizes politicians for their conduct during elections.
With recent happenings in our political development, especially the governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states, and the legislative rerun elections in Rivers State, can we really say that we're indeed making any progress? It, of course, seems to me that people still contest elections as if they're fighting a war that must be won, or people must perish.
The chairman of the summit and former governor of Edo State called for the enthronement of the rule of law.
Democracy cannot thrive if the constitution is not right, or if we are not respecting our constitution and respecting the rule of law.
The convener of the summit and director general of the Save Democracy Group Africa enumerates the essence of the National Political Summit.
The annual National Political Summit aims to develop a lead consensus on political and governance issues and promotes tolerance to alternative viewpoints and dialogue among stakeholders.
The three-day summit is expected to, among other issues, examine constitutional development options for sustainable democracy in Nigeria, political leadership recruitment, and internal democracies in political parties.
Efforts by Nigeria towards the development of its economy may be hindered by certain policies being adopted by the government. This is according to the president of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Frank Udemba, who was speaking at a forum in Abuja where he listed the central bank's policy on foreign exchange and lack of access to long-term funding, among others, as some of the areas the federal government needs to revisit. He, however, commended the government for its giant strides in ensuring adequate security across the country.
Government officials, manufacturers and members of the private sector at a meeting in the presidential villa to discuss issues on how best to make the economy work in the interest of the ordinary Nigerian. Vice President Yemi Osibajo explains why the meeting has become necessary.
A great deal of attention has been paid, as you will probably find, in sustaining private sector leadership, especially in the plans, our economic recovery and growth plan 2017, which is to be launched next month. The pivot of that plan is a private sector-led recovery and a private sector-led growth plan. So this forum is an important one for engendering the continuous engagement that this partnership will entail.
Next to speak is the president of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Frank Udemba, who speaks the minds of most businessmen and women in the whole as it relates to the policies of government. He also gave recommendations on how government can tackle the points raised headlong.
Access to forex has been a major challenge to businesses in the last 2 years. The challenge this policy is currently facing is that there is inadequate monitoring mechanism to ensure that the policy achieves the desired result of allocating the stipulated percentage of the forex to bona fide manufacturers. One after the other, government officials gave explanations on the concerns raised.
We propose to spend 2.24 trillion on capital. 2.24 trillion naira on capital, which is 30.7% of the proposed budget. And of that spend, 56% of the capital spend is devoted to infrastructure.
This is the second time the Vice President will be holding the quarterly business forum. Nigerians hope to see that the recommendations reached here will help to bring about a quick turnaround of the economy.
When the news at 10 returns, Nigeria's Minister of State for Petroleum, Ibe Kachuku, signs a memorandum of understanding with Italian oil giant Eni on local investments. That's on Business News. Join us again.